Then, in 2003, right before the start of the Iraq War, my mother and I, along with several other actors, went to Capitol Hill. And we were lobbying to try and get more money for arts programs in education. It is proven science that the brain matures in a more complete and a faster way if you are accessing that part of your mind, the creative part of your mind. So we went there and we lobbied a lot of different congressmen and the senators and so forth. And then we got to Senator Clinton, and Senator Biden was there and a couple of others. But Senator Clinton, we were in a room of, maybe 30 of us, and she was unbelievable. First of all, it's a different sound when you're in a rally. Okay. It's a different sound when you're in a rally, or when you're in a debate, or when you're in a town hall that's this big, than when you're in a room with 30 people. And she listened very closely to everything that we all had to say, in particular me. She really listened to me. And she heard what I was saying. And then with a kind of delicate, calm, soft demeanor, she talked about what it meant to be in the classroom and the issues that the teachers were up against and the opportunities that were available to them when they worked with the students. And then she talked about the principals. And then she talked about how that worked with the district. And then how the state legislative cycles interleaved with the federal budget cycles. And she just got it completely. So that when our delegation left there, we didn't feel like we needed to explain anything to them anymore. Because, Hillary was leading this effort. And there were a lot of people who had good ideas, but she had a command of it, a command of the issues. And she was driving it. We felt like our only job now is to go out into the public and let folks know that that's, what's going on, what's happening. Raise awareness for that issue. So that's it. Met her twice. Really inspired. The other one I touched on, number 2, is one I already touched on, the issues. Today she's going to talk about the economy. Focus primarily, I believe, on the economy. And, if you look at Iraq, $1 trillion, $3 trillion, maybe when it's all over, $7 trillion once you add in the continuing costs of health care for soldiers when they get back. When you look at all of the different issues, health care and how we're going to pay for it, education, primary school education, making college more affordable, and you talk about all these kind of things that are on our list of to-dos, they all interact directly with the economy. So you're talking about thousands and thousands of moving parts. And I just have incredible confidence that Hillary Clinton, because of her unique capacity for thought and critical thinking, and her ability to then translate that into language and communication with others, I think she'll be able to lead our national economy out of the morass that it's in right now. Oil at almost $111 a barrel, gold up to $1,000 per ounce, groceries going up, the dollar value going down. Indiana is the 10th largest state, is the 10th state with the highest concentration of foreclosures, mortgage foreclosures. And this state has lost 9,000 manufacturing jobs in the last year. It has lost 1 out of 7 jobs since the Bush administration took over. So this state in particular is in need of somebody not only who has a plan, but who really understands exactly what it's going to take to push that plan through and has the built-in relationships and political alliances that are necessary, that are only built with my third reason, experience. You absolutely have to have experience. And this woman, First Lady of the United States, and I got to wrap up here in a second, but First Lady of the United States, this is a sacred role in our national history. Martha Washington, Abigail Adams, Eleanor Roosevelt. I believe when we look back through the lens of history 50 or 100 years from now, Hillary Rodham Clinton will have shattered some of the barriers that have been in place in our society because of the way that she redefined the role of First Lady. First Lady in the history of the country to have an office in the West Wing. First Lady in the history of the country to take on a major policy initiative when it was incredibly unpopular for her to do so. First Lady in the history of the country to run for office, win a Senate seat in a major state with major issues ranging from farming to international commerce and diplomacy, and then win re-election in a landslide. This woman is tried, she is tested, she has proven herself. As far as I'm concerned, there is no better candidate for the presidency of the United States, not just between her competitors, but anybody in this country. Okay, all right. So I've said what I've come to say. The last thing I'll say is that Alexandra, who had my 11-year-old, who had figured out how to work with some of her other students so she could get Hillary, and some of the others had to do Mitt Romney and everything else in their speeches. And, you know, I tried to make it objective. I tried to show her, you know, clips of everybody, all the different candidates, and talk to her about it and say, you shouldn't just do what Dad wants just because Dad's doing it. But at a certain moment, she looked at me. It was the other day, right before I came here. It was Monday or Sunday afternoon. And I don't know if I was screaming at the news or writing an email or what I was doing. But she looked at me at a certain moment and just said, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I'm not really sorry. She won re-election to her student council on Fix the Grass platform, and they're now doing that. So she's... Anyway, she looked at me and she said, why Hillary? I looked at her and I said, where you been the last 3 months? You've been yelling and talking to strangers about how much you like Hillary Clinton. What I realized is that Allie wasn't just asking me about Hillary. She was asking me about Hillary, about me. She wanted to know about me. And only the way that a young person can, with that kind of idealism and that kind of genuine skepticism. And I looked at her and I said, 2 reasons. I like her, and I think she'd do the best job. Thank you very much.